What if I told you that one ordinary morning could destroy every excuse you've ever made? Would you still want to wake up tomorrow? Imagine this. Just for 24 hours, every human on Earth can see their future. Not guesses, not dreams, but real, undeniable moments. Here's the uncomfortable question. Would humanity become wiser, or would it completely fall apart? I've thought about this for years, and the more I imagine it, the more terrifying it becomes. Because knowledge changes behavior. Picture waking up and knowing who you'll marry, how you'll fail, when you'll win. Pause, the mystery of life, gone. At first, people would celebrate. This is the greatest gift ever. But gifts like this always come with a price. Let me be honest, humans don't handle certainty very well, especially when it's uncomfortable. Or imagine seeing yourself succeed wildly in 10 years. Would you still work hard today, or relax too soon? Now imagine the opposite. Seeing failure, loss, or heartbreak ahead. Would you even try anymore? This single day would split humanity into two groups, those who chase the future and those who run from it. I've noticed something in real life. When people believe success is guaranteed, effort often disappears. And when people believe failure is inevitable, motivation collapses even faster. So ask yourself, does certainty inspire us, or does it paralyze us? Financial markets would be the first to collapse. Investors acting on future crashes or jackpots instantly. Governments would panic because control disappears when everyone knows what's coming. Laws rely on unpredictability. Once outcomes are known, authority weakens. Here's what most people miss. The future isn't just information, it's emotional weight. Hospitals would overflow with people who saw illness approaching and couldn't handle the fear. Others would rush to change their fate, desperately trying to rewrite what they saw. And yes, some would give up completely. That's the dark side no one wants to talk about. Relationships would shatter overnight. Imagine seeing that your best friend betrays you in 5 years. Could you smile at them today? Or seeing a breakup that hasn't happened yet? Would you still love honestly? I think trust would become impossible, because suspicion would replace hope. Parents would see their children's futures, and some truths are too heavy to carry. Teachers would see which students fail, and unconsciously treat them differently. No equality dies when expectations are fixed. But here's the twist. Some people would thrive. The disciplined, the resilient, the emotionally strong. They'd use the future as fuel. I've met people like this. They don't fear outcomes, they adapt to them. Athletes would train smarter, not harder. Artists would know if their work ever matters, and that knowledge could either liberate or destroy creativity. Would you still create if you knew the world never applauds you? Or would freedom from validation finally make you honest? Religion and philosophy would face their greatest crisis ever. Faith depends on uncertainty. When proof arrives, belief changes form. Some would worship destiny. Others would rebel against it. Believe free will wouldn't disappear. It would be challenged. Yet knowing the future doesn't remove choice. It only makes consequences louder. And humans hate loud consequences. Crime rates would spike. People acting on nothing-to-lose mindsets. Others would behave perfectly, afraid to disturb what they saw. Society would freeze between fear and obsession. Let's talk about love again, because this hurts the most. Seeing your soulmate before you meet them sounds romantic until patience becomes torture. Every date before the one would feel meaningless. Mystery is what makes love powerful. Without mystery, emotions dry out. Here's something personal. I've noticed that the best moments in my life came from uncertainty. The risks I took without guarantees shaped me the most. If I'd known the outcomes, I might never have moved forward. That's the paradox. Certainty feels safe, but growth lives in doubt. Businesses would change instantly. Entrepreneurs would only launch guaranteed winners. Innovation would slow. Failure teaches more than success ever could. Remove failure, and wisdom disappears. Education systems would crumble under predetermined paths. Why study hard if you already know where you end up? Or worse, why try if you know you'll fail? Motivation depends on possibility, and possibility dies when the future is revealed. But here's the hopeful part. This power only lasts one day, just 24 hours, and then it's gone. That means decisions made during that day echo forever. Some would make the smartest choices of their lives. Others would make irreversible mistakes. The day after would be the strangest morning in history. People pretending they didn't see what they saw, not trying to live normally while carrying secret knowledge. Anxiety would skyrocket, but so would urgency. People would stop procrastinating, because the illusion of someday is gone. Dreams would become deadlines. Regret would become unbearable. I think that's the real lesson here. We don't need to see the future to act like it matters. Most people live as if time is infinite. It's not. Seeing the future for one day wouldn't create meaning. It would expose what already mattered. The relationships worth saving, the risks worth taking, the habits slowly destroying us, the courage we keep delaying. Here's the question I want you to sit with. If you did see your future tomorrow, what would you change today? And why haven't you changed it already? The truth is, you don't need prophecy. You need honesty. And you already know what you should stop doing. You already know who you should call. You already know what you're avoiding. The future isn't hidden. It's ignored. One day of foresight would shock humanity, but one moment of courage can change a life. Destiny isn't written in visions, it's written in daily choices. And that's the power we already have. So don't wait for a magical day. Act like the future is watching you now, because in a way, it is. The scariest future is the one we keep postponing. What will you do differently after this?